Hello, I'm Lara Argento, Automation Engineer here at Automation Anywhere. And in this BotStar Spotlight session, we are going to explore the PDF Utilities package. This package allows you to read form fields, set form fields, and merge PDF files. And before we start building our bot, you want to go ahead to botstar.automationanywhere.com to download the package. So search for PDF Utilities package, and if you are on an enterprise control room, you can select the first option, that is Add to Control Room, or if you are using Community Edition like me, you can go ahead and select Download as zip file. And clicking this is going to download the package for you, where you can then import it inside your control room. Wait, okay, here it goes. And then go ahead and open your Community Edition control room. And under the Automation tab, you're going to select the Import Bots at the right side. So browse and select the zip file that you just downloaded and select Import Bots. And now you have the bot package inside your control room. So let's go ahead and create the bot where you can see the action that we just imported. I'm gonna go ahead and select PDF Utilities package, create and edit. And let's start with the read form fields. So if I search for PDF Utils is the package, and I'm going to select read form fields. But before I do that, let me grab a step action just so I can keep my code organized. So read form fields. And then I can go ahead and select the read form fields and put it inside our step. So once I do that, it is going to ask me, where is the file that you want to extract the information from? So I'm going to browse and select the form, select the PDF that I have, and then I'm going to show you what the PDF actually is. So I selected the PDF. So here is the PDF empty. I created a fictional club called Anywhere Club, where you can sign up and learn more about RPA. And we are getting information like first and last name, email and phone number. This is a drop-down menu where you can select date of birth. And also we have a checkbox where you can select all of them. And also a radio button option. This is going to allow you to select only one option. And I filled one with my information. So you can see here my name, email, date of birth, and selected a few options. And I also made other ones so we can test. So we have more people in here. And now what we're going to do is select a dictionary variable, because we want to grab the key and the value from the fields so we know what information we are getting. So I went ahead and created a variable called D for dictionary, fields, create and select, and I'm going to save this bot and debug it. So actually, let me throw another step under this one. That is going to be our merge PDF files for later. And once I hit debug, I'm going to add a breakpoint at the line 3. And once I click start, it is going to pass that read form fields line and stop at line 3, because I want to get some information that it is stored right here under our dictionary. And you can see that it is giving us both the key and the value. So key is checkbox 1 and value is building RPA bots. Key is first name and value is Lara, which is my name. So I'm going to copy all of this. I'm going to paste it in a notepad just so I can keep it in here. So I can then write this information in a CSV file. So I'm going to just quickly create a log to file action here, where I'm going to first create a log file, and in my folder, I made both an input and output folder so I can have all my documents organized, and it's going to be called result.csv. So I just created it right here, result.csv, open, okay. And what we are going to log is the header. So we don't want to throw a bunch of information there without actually telling what it is. So I'm going to create the header for first name, and I'm enclosing it just because if there's any information that has a comma, then it won't break, because a CSV, our CSV right here is separated by commas. So that's why I'm enclosing it. So let's name, and we also have email, we also have phone number, we also have date of birth, and we have the interests, where we ask what are you interested in. Those are the check boxes. And we also have the news frequency and the what else question, right? So what else? And I'm going to select overwrite existing log file, because once I click run, it is going to delete that file that I just created and write this header on top of it. So that way we get a fresh file with the header that we just created. So let's take a look. No, I want to open it as a CSV in the notepad actually. Okay, so here it is. You see it is empty. It only has the header, right? So below that it's empty. So we need to fill that with information that we can get from the PDF utils read form fields action. So what I'm going to do is, remember that we did that first run and we copied this information. Here we can see the key and the value. And one thing you could do is you could write using an Excel file where you just put everything key first and value second. But because I'm creating a CSV, I want to create the header with the information, and for each line is going to be a new PDF. So what I'm going to do is add those keys inside our log to file action so we can create our, let me copy this, create our file with the information that we got from the PDF. Okay, so first name, we saw in our notepad the first name key is first name altogether. So what I'm going to do is hit F2, select the variable called dfields, and for key, I'm going to copy exactly the key that we saw here in the notepad. So first name. And I'm going to do this to all of those using the dictionary key. So last name. And for email and phone number, I remember that we have email is the key. And also, you see, I'm replacing the hard-coded text with variables that we got from our PDF. So now we're at phone number, right? So phone number, I saw that is phone number like this, but it could be just phone. That is going to depend on your PDF. So you see here we have phone number. So that's what I'm typing. Yes. And now for date of birth, you can see that we have it under year, month, and day. They are all separated. So what I'm going to do, just so it looks good in the end file, is, oops, I pressed the wrong key. I'm going to press F2 to open the insert value pop-up. And I'm going to select the first key that is going to be day. And right next to it, I'm going to put a slash and hit F2 again and select our dictionary key month. So that way I'm putting information inside only one column of our CSV. And now we need the year of birth. So we saw that the dictionary key is called year. Could be YY, that again, that is going to depend. And for interests, this is something that is particular to this PDF. Again, it is going to depend on the PDF that you have. For interests, we have checkbox number 4, which is empty. Checkbox number 3 has information, that is hyperautomation. That means checkbox number 3 is selected, is ticked, and checkbox number 4 is not. Some PDFs have on or off for each checkbox, so you need to build your bot around what the PDF is giving you. And because mine is either empty or has the text, what I can do right now just to show you is insert the fields. Let me do that outside of the log2 file. I'm going to get a string assign just so you can see the values in here. And then I'm going to use the keys checkbox number 1, insert. And also, let me go, oops. And I'm adding checkbox number 2. And I'm just separating them with slashes, but could be anything. So what this is going to do is, if it is empty, it's not going to write anything. So it's just going to be 2 slashes. This is not the best way you could do this. I'm just doing it like this, so you can see the values. The best way you could do this is creating a loop action, and inside the loop for each dictionary key, you would then get a if condition and check if the dictionary is empty. If it's empty, it goes, it skips the if condition. If it's not empty, then you would write this. But just for the sake of this video not being super long, I'm going to do it this way. And this is the interests variable. So you see, I just grouped all of the fields, all of the keys from the dictionary in one variable, and then I'm going to insert that variable right here. And it is going to input some slashes. That is not going to be the best, but you are going to be able to at least see it. And for news frequency, let me see how it is. News frequency is group. Okay, so group 1 twice a month. And so we only need the group 1 key. So that's easy. Just get the fields variable, and key is group 1, because this is what the PDF called this section. It's called group 1. If we had more radio options under a different question, it would be called probably group 2 and 3 and so on and so forth. So group 1. And also the what else. So the what else is called what else altogether. That makes things easier for us, right? So get the dictionary variable. Key is called what else, just like the question. Insert, and this is not going to be an overwrite existing log file because I want it to be appended under the header that we just created. So I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to debug and hit play. Okay, let me close the result, otherwise it's going to, yeah, okay. And whoops, yeah, I didn't close the file fast enough. Let me just click again. If you have the file open, it is going to pop you that error. So close the file and then hit run. What is going on? The process, oh yeah, I have it open in the Excel, right? So let me close it. Again, close the file and then hit run. And now it is going to work because the only notepad that I have here is like that copy that we made. Oops. Okay, here it is. So it stopped right here because I asked it to stop since I put the breakpoint in there. So I can show you that dictionary is being populated with all the information from the PDF. And that file called interests now has building RPA bots / empty and hyperautomation / empty. So at least now we can have all the interests grouped in one variable, you know? Let me exit the debug, go ahead and open our result. Let me open it using the notepad. Open with notepad. And now you can see that we have the information under the header that we just created. So we have first name, last name, email, phone number, date of birth. It is right here as we created. And also the interests are in one column as well. Frequency and the what else. So everything is in here. This is how you can read form fields. Ways to improve this would be under the log to file. The file path should be a variable, so don't directly use your path inside your code. The best way you could do is use a file to store those, or for this, we can create just like a string that is the result PDF data, for instance. And then we can copy the file path, put it inside this variable, the default value, apply. And then we can just delete this and use the variable. You should always prioritize using variables inside your code. Let me browse again. Oops, no, that's not what I want. Let me press F2 and result PDF data. This is a variable I just created. And now you can see that I'm writing it to the variable. So if I want to change the location of the results, I could just add it in one place instead of going through my code to search where I'm using this. So yeah, this is how you read form fields. And now for merge PDF files, what I'm going to do is go ahead and for each PDF that I have here, I need to open it in my browser. So let me close the other ones. And I need to select the print option to save it as PDF in order to lock the information here. So I'm going to create another folder called, let's see, locked PDF. Open, and it's going to be called anywhere club _ John dot PDF. Let me add locked. Okay, locked John. Okay, and now I'm going to hit save. I'm doing this because if I open the file right now, I can change John's information. In order to merge the PDF files, we need them to be locked already. So I'm going to do that to all the files. And then we are going to merge them. Okay, so I did that to all my PDFs, and now you can see inside the locked PDF, I locked all of them using that print function and saving them as PDFs. Because now I can use the merge PDF action. So I'm searching inside variables. That's not where I want to search. Actions, PDF, under PDF utils, merge all PDF files I'm going to use, because Once I use this, I can just point to the folder that has all those PDFs and merge all of them inside only one. So if that's what you need to do, if you need to merge all the PDFs inside one, this is the action that you want to use. And for the directory, I'm going to again create a variable called oops, called s directory, s PDFs directory. That's better. And the default value is going to be input locked PDF. So I can just copy this, paste inside the default value and hit create. And now hitting F2, I can insert a variable called PDFs directory. And the resulting file, I want it to go to my output folder. So again, I'm going to create output folder, and that is my output path. So I'm just going to copy it and put it inside my variable. And result file, oh, I need to point to the file, excuse me. Let's edit that output folder to be called, oops, output file. And then it's going to be called all pdfs.pdf. Hit apply, and then I can point it in the result file. So output file, yes, insert, and hit save. So what this is going to do is create one big PDF for me. So I'm going to disable the read from fields because this is not what we're testing right now. And once I hit debug, it actually hides that step for me. That's very helpful when you have like a very big code. This can help you to visualize what you're testing. And now the bot has completed successfully. And let's see our all PDFs.pdf. So we have John, we have Lara, so that's me, we have Thais and Victoria. So all of them are in one PDF. So if you need to send this like in an email or something, copy to somewhere in your network, you can put all of them inside one PDF file and use this action. So let me exit the debug here. The other option that we have for the merge is merge PDF files, and then you can point to specifically what file you want to merge. So the first source file and the second one, and then the resulting file. So this is like if you need to point to specific files. In our case, merge all PDF files was the best option. And now let me show you the set form fields. So I went ahead and created a step for set form fields and grabbed the action from the PDF utils package. And we need to point to the original form that is empty. So in my case, it is located at my desktop, bot games, bot star spotlight, and this is the form that is empty. So it doesn't have any information inside it. So I'm going to open, and the output, I'm going to put it in the same folder. Oops. Okay. I'm going to put it in the same folder, but I'm going to add new to its name, just so we know that this is the new one. And then you can pass it as a dictionary variable, or you can create the key and values right here. So what I can do, since I'm going to have the dictionary variable from the read form fields, I'm going to use that to write the form fields in this PDF. But what you need to do is, depending on how you are getting this information, either it may be an Excel spreadsheet, CSV, email, text file, you need to create your logic to get it in here as a dictionary. So I'm going to reuse the read form fields that I have, and I'm going to add a variable in here. Actually, I'm going to I'm going to write it inside the code. But again, you need to get this from a variable from outside where whatever, however it comes to you, CSV, Excel spreadsheet. So just to change things, I'm going to put new names in here. So Marcela is going to be first name. And then last name is going to be Ali. And email, let's create a ma dot whatever at email.com. And let's do the phone number as well. Okay, phone number. So whatever number that is, not a real one. Hit save, and I'm going to run my bot. So I'm just going to disable the merge PDF files because I don't want that right now. But I'm going to keep the... Actually, I don't need that as well. So I'm going to disable this. Because now I'm setting form fields and I'm inputting the information right here. But what you can do is under value, you can use a variable. So let me do one just to show you. I'm going to create a new variable called, let's say, last name from Excel. So pretend that this variable is coming from an Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to change its default value to last name here, just so you can see where it is coming from. And I'm going to use that under last name. So last name from Excel, insert. And now I'm going to hit save and run, actually, and debug. Okay. And right here under my bot store spotlight folder, we're going to see a new file. Here it is. And once we open that, you can see that we have the new name that we just typed in, the last name here. This is the one that came from a variable, the new email, the new number. So this is how you would set form fields in a PDF file. It's really just the opposite from reading it, getting it. We're still working with key values and the variables, just so you can create a loop and loop through different rows and columns from whatever this information comes from, and also to loop through different files, PDF files actually. And this is the PDF utilities package. Let me go ahead and enable all of our functions in here. Here it is. And again, you can increase this and improve this code. Let's chat in the comments on how you would do something in here differently. How would you use loop actions to improve the way that you write variables? And let me know anything else that you want to see. Thanks again, and we'll see you again next week. Bye bye.